Hello, and thank you for joining me for another adventure in Thrifting with Purpose. And this is our little pin for today. It is a vintage glass pin. I don't believe it is jet, simply glass pin. There's no maker's mark. For $2.50, I thought it was really charming, and I'm just delighted with it. This pretty little piece of pressed glass was $1, and I purchased it specifically to practice painting on glass. As you can see, the paint is coming away, and I recently purchased glass art paint, and we're going to be revisiting this project in a future video, and I might even make a mold of the pressing on the back. It shouldn't be too hard to restore. We will see. This pretty little piece is by Lefton. George Lefton moved to America in 1939 and started his business in the early 40s without any knowledge of porcelain. He just happened to love China, and his fascination grew into a business. A Japanese friend he had helped during the war save his business, helped him develop relationships overseas, and his business grew from there. His friend's name was Naomi. There's nothing special about this bottle. I grabbed it at St. Vincent's for a reason, and that was my reason. I was so excited to find it. It was on my bucket list. It's a little sprinkler for doing your ironing. My mom would sprinkle the clothes every Friday night while we watched Wild Wild West, and on Saturday she would iron, and all the shirts would be ready for Sunday church, and that brought back a lot of fun memories, and I was just so excited to find it. It was rolling around in the dish all by itself. Someone was looking at it and set it down and walked away. So it was meant for me. This pretty little ring, I don't believe it's particularly vintage, but I didn't purchase it for the ring. I purchased it for the top. I'm going to be repurposing this in an upcoming video when I'm doing Victorian and junk journaling projects, as well as this pin. I purchased it for the porcelain. This is going to become part of a quilling project in an upcoming video. And this little pendant necklace I purchased for $4. I do believe it is silver, but I am going to be repurposing this section of it, as well as the ring, both for Victorian themed projects. This pretty little tidbit tray, I purchased it originally to repurpose the aqua glass. You can remove those handles with a simple screwdriver. They're easy to ship that way. Don't be discouraged about purchasing these because those handles can be removed for shipping. I have not made the decision if I'm going to put it on eBay or if I'm going to repurpose the glass this summer. This plate I purchased specifically for the porcelain. It was 50% off. I did pay $10 for it, but I did have a customer card that was full, so essentially it was free. And I purchased it for the design on the porcelain for a project this summer, and we'll see these again soon. Well, later rather than sooner, actually. But we will revisit all the porcelain and the glass. And I purchased these little saucers as well, and they were $2 each on 50% off day. I have a little tote that is just for porcelain and glass items that I'm going to be repurposing, so if something breaks, that's where it goes. This pretty little piece, I thought it was absolutely lovely, and it was $1. And there's the maker, and we'll revisit this in a quick little clip at the end of this video before our project. I thought it was so pretty. the design was very pretty. That was some damage, and that was my fault. I thought it was a pretty little piece, and I have a bad habit of putting things in my pocket, and it went through the wash machine as well as the dryer. But I'll fix it and hang it up next to the little Dutch shoes that I have. This was just another little haul of wooden spools, and I'll share what I do with these spools in another project video. Now this little amber dish, oh, that's what I'm going to save all your threads. Don't throw them away. You can rewind them and put them on spools. This amber dish, there are two little chips, but I did purchase this crackle glass dish for the glass. I am going to use it in practicing cutting glass this summer. So for $1, it is a good practice piece. It's a shame it had two little chips on it. It's a pretty little dish. And I do have a little pitcher on eBay that would have gone well with it. A little creamer. This is just a jar of polished glass chips. And I'm going to be using these in an upcoming project. I paid $3.50 for this at St. Vincent's on 50% off day. It had been there for a couple of weeks, and I was really surprised it was still there and delighted at the same time. I'm going to do a couple mid-century themed pieces of artwork, and I wanted this glass for one of them. Here we have some lovely uranium, and my batteries are running low, but they glow quite nicely. I paid $2.50 for each plate. This, I believe, is the wagon wheel pattern. And then the other plates underneath are shamrock. And uranium glass came about in the 1800s and was kind of phased out during the war. And then uranium was allowed only commercially used in the 50s. So the 50s pieces are much rarer than the earlier pieces. I believe this is an earlier piece. The embossing is on the front, and so it's easily damaged. I don't really understand why the embossing was on the front, but it's very pretty. That's where the damage is. I'm going to keep a damaged plate for myself and one for my son, and then put the other two on eBay. This pretty little quilt and this purse will be used in upcoming projects. The quilt you'll see at the end of this video. I'm going to dismantle this purse and use it in an interesting project I learned about, and I will share that with you pretty soon. But for $3, it was worth the leather. And this little quilt is 3 feet by 3 feet. It is vintage. That is vintage fabrics. And I believe it was hand sewn by the squares, but machine sewn in the quilting itself. And this is our little piece that I repurposed. And now I have a new pin cushion for my work area. This is teflon fabric you can purchase at the fabric store, and we're going to repurpose a doll quilt I made, as well as that little quilt I purchased at St. Vincent's. And here we go. And now we have 2 ironing pads, one for my workstation and one for my sewing table. And this Teflon fabric is easily located near the interfacing section of your fabric store. And it saves so much space. You don't have to go out and buy a big ironing board if you're doing quilting or small projects, doll clothes. And you can fold it up and enjoy the pattern on the other side and not have to work with a cumbersome ironing board. I hope you've enjoyed this little project. Bye-bye. Please like and subscribe, share, and have a lovely day.